Hello everybody and welcome to our review of Silent Hill 2 Remake. Right off the bat, no spoilers in this video whatsoever. We're going to cover the fundamentals, visuals, sound, etc. What makes Silent Hill 2 Remake great? And what better place to start than the actual visuals in the game? So, to make Silent Hill 2 Remake work, let's be honest, one of the most important things is visuals. As you can see already, the brown, the greens, the greys, the gloomy sky. It's just very downbeat. It is beautiful, but what really makes this game pop is the actual fog. As you can see, the way the fog dissipates as you move towards it, it's unbelievable. It has a thickness to it, but it's not just the fog. We have the reflections in the ground as well. As you can see there, absolutely stunning. What you see in the world is reflected in the puddles on the ground. It really adds to that visual flair that the game is kicking up. You have the fog, you have the reflections, and it isn't just trees or small lampposts. You actually get full buildings in reflections as well. When you pan the camera around puddles, you see some amazing visuals. The textures on the brickwork are stunning. The fog, it just adds to the game though. This is the highlight of the visual flair. When we look at the sound of Silent Hill 2 Remake, it is absolutely unbelievable. I have some examples for you here. Just listen to the ambient sounds around James. Put that all together, the textures, the reflections, the fog, the sound, you get such an amazing experience with Silent Hill 2 Remake. I dare say it's some of the best overall that you will get on PlayStation 5. Now, one thing Bloober Team have done really well is when enemies are within your vicinity, your radio goes off and they utilize the DualSense. Let me show you an example of what the DualSense is doing. That's when an enemy's far. What about when it's close? Now, one thing to remember, this is not an action game. James is a civilian, so his combat is slow and brutal. It is very violent in this game, specifically the melee combat. When you do knock an enemy down, my advice, few extra hits. There have been examples in my playthrough where I thought I beat an enemy and they got back up. Ranged weapons feel more safe. You can keep an enemy at a distance, and you kind of want to, because that's what Silent Hill 2 does. It makes you feel like something's crawling on you. So you always want to get those extra hits in. I'm happy to report, and unfortunately have to report, that enemies don't just come straight at you. There is that fear factor, that scare factor to Silent Hill Remake. Have a look at some of these examples. Some enemies don't even react until you put the light on them or you make sound. As you can see here, the light will trigger the enemy. Now, one thing that makes Silent Hill 2 Remake absolutely a pleasure to play are the puzzles, but I'm not going to give too much away on that one because they are something you need to experience as a gamer yourself. But what the game does do, it guides you well via maps. So your maps are always empty, and as you trigger things and find things, you'll get red markers all over the map, so you always know where you're going. At night time, reflections look amazing in the game, and I started to wonder to myself, why is the DualSense not being utilized even more? And then I went outside and it was raining, and you can feel the haptic feedback through the DualSense controller. It feels so good and scary to play at the same time. I don't want to talk too much about Silent Hill 2 Remake because I'll give too much away and you need to experience it for yourself. At the beginning of this year, it was on my most anticipated games of the year list, and I'm happy to say it has lived up to expectations. It is beautiful and brutal, and the sense of accomplishment you feel when you complete a puzzle, it's just groundbreaking. What this game does for remakes is set the bar to a whole new level. This game, right now, is my game of the year.
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you.